Here on Matt Zone HD Sportsnet, presented by the JMU Alumni Association, I'm joined by women's head soccer coach Dave Lombardo. Coach, Philly wasn't exactly the nicest to you, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the city of brotherly love this weekend. Tough weekend. We had very disappointing result against Villanova. I credit them. They had a game plan that really kind of threw us off a little bit, and we didn't respond well to it. And sometimes a game gets away from you, and that one did. But a lot of what we didn't do well on Friday's game was because of how hard they played. And we talked with the team afterwards and said, look, we're not good enough to just show up. We have to bring all the ingredients, and competing and executing are two of the foundation pieces that we need for that. And I was really proud of how they responded in Sunday's game against La Salle. La Salle is a very tough team, very good team. They're two-time defending A10 champions. They've been to a handful of NCAA tournaments. They're a very difficult place to play. It's a very old-style type of short nap, almost astroturf field hockey type of carpet. We never get to practice on that or play on that. It was only 66 yards wide, very narrow field, and our kids really came out and didn't use any of that as an excuse. They came after it. They chased the game. It was a very strong performance for us, probably the best possession performance that we played all season long. It was 0-0 at the half. They came out, and off the opening kickoff in the second half, we fell asleep in a couple locations on the field. We had probably 3 or 4 chances to stop that goal from happening, and it didn't happen, didn't work and bounce in our way. So we were chasing it a little bit, gave up a second goal off of some bad clearance and off a corner kick, and multiple chances at that. We need to be better from that standpoint. But in the final 15 minutes, we had them pinned in, and we scored a nice goal. Had a couple of other chances. Their goalkeeper made 3 great saves, even one very late in the game that would have tied that up. So I walked away from that going, we learned a lesson on Friday that we can't just show up. And I think if we use that game against La Salle as our gold standard of how you need to play to be competitive at this level, hopefully we learned something out of all that.
In talking about that La Salle game, I know we talked for a little bit yesterday. You said it was one of the more complete games the team's played all season. Mm-hmm. What makes you think that?
Our possession was just spot on. We were playing. We changed the system of play a little bit. We moved to a 4-4-2. We outnumbered them 4v3 in the midfield, and we were just picking them apart. And we just didn't, in the final third, we just didn't get the right weighted entry ball, or really took our chances. But again, early in that game, their goalkeeper stopped 2 point-blank shots that you go up 1 or 2-0, and that's a whole different game at that point. So I really liked that the energy and intensity combined with the soccer was important, because you can't just run around and be energetic and kick things and toe poke balls all over the place. You've got to do something with them, and that's really what we've been trying to focus on this year, is blending our athletic dimension with a good level of soccer, something that when you walk off the field, win, lose, or draw, you feel proud of what kind of product you put on the field, and then good soccer fans could appreciate what you're trying to do. And I thought we did that yesterday.
This weekend, Appalachian State comes to University Park, mm-hmm. and then you get to make the nice scenic drive down to Greensboro for a Sunday afternoon game. What's the goal, and what's the focus on this week moving towards this weekend?
Well, the focus is we're at the same point we were last year. At this time of the season, we were 4-3, arrived at them a little bit differently. Last year we split early on, and then just kind of put a line in the sand and said we're not going to do that anymore. And we went on I think we went on 11-1-1 run to close out the regular season. This year we got off to an early start, some early success, a great win against Wake, got some national recognition but now we've dropped 3 out of the last 4, 2 of those by shutout. So there's some concern that we need to get back to the fundamentals that will that made us successful in those early games. So I think that's going to be our focus all week long. I never played App State before in a regular season game. We played them once in a spring game. So I don't really know what to expect. We'll try to find out as much as we can about them this week. Greensboro has always been a tough game. They're one of the few teams that has a winning record against us. I think it's like 7-6-2. They've been always very close games. We beat them here last year 2-0, but they have a whole new coaching staff. Michael Cole is a very, very good coach. He was an assistant for a long time at Penn State. So I think he'll get them marching in the right direction. So, again, not an easy weekend for us, but I think both games that if we do what we're capable of doing, our goal at this point is get 6 points every weekend and win 2 games, and that's what our intentions are.
This Friday night, the Dukes do take on Appalachian State at 5 o'clock at University Park. It's the first leg of a JMU soccer doubleheader as the JMU men's team takes on Robert Morris about 30 minutes after the game. It is also a Vuvuzela giveaway. What do you think about those Vuvuzelas?
I like them. Anything that can annoy the referee and the opposing team, I'm all for.
Well, the Vuvuzelas, this is the last weekend they're going to be given away because conference starts next weekend with Towson on the road, and then they'll play Richmond, and then conference is in full swing. This Sunday afternoon, JMU will take on UNCG down in Greensboro, as we said. Coach, thanks so much again for joining us. Good luck this weekend.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.